Good afternoon, everyone. It is 3:48 p.m. on the 13th of August, 2026. Just wanted to give you guys a quick update. It is a Thursday. Pretty much not doing too much here today. However, I do have a position that I've closed and one that I've opened, but I'm just going to run through the entire portfolio as it sits right now. And as you can see, I do have an open P&L of negative 1,800, which to me it's normal. But I do have some open positions that are profitable. I do have a closed position that is basically now cash in my pocket. So let's run down through the open positions basically. So I have a BlackBerry here that I sold a few days ago. I think it's on the 5th or whatever. September 18 expiry, and that's for basically all of them except for one that I've actually closed. So all of these are for September. Now the strike is 11. I sold that for 61. It's currently at 45. It was at 40 not that long ago, and now it's okay. It's 349. So all these numbers are going to be a little bit wonky because liquidity just leaves around this time, and then it goes back to normal in like 2 minutes or so. So don't worry about these numbers right now. I just wanted to let you know that that is in a profitable at this point in time. EFR, I finally managed to sell a call against the position that I have opened. I sold that for 90 cents a few days ago. I don't have it on camera because opening positions is one thing, closing them is another, and I rather have the closed positions because that tells me whether I made money or lost money on record. Buying positions, I can have them open for several days and chances are they won't do anything. But the actual price that I'm trying to get at is at 24, so basically scratching this one. But I did receive credit from the, premium, I should say, from the put that I sold for 24. And since I got it signed because it was below that, obviously, now I'm just trying to sell it for 24, basically lowering my cost basis. That's how I see it. I don't care if I make $1 or $2 above the actual price that I got it. That's not what I'm here for. Basically selling insurance and lottery tickets. So whoever buys it at whoever bought it at 24, they're most likely hoping it'll go to 26 or 28, which is quite possible. Now I have a Equinox Gold covered call. That is a basically it's getting there. Now you might be saying, oh, but you lost some money here. It's a 17 call, which is the same price that you basically bought the shares at. Another one that I'm running the wheel on. I sold a put. Now I have credit against it. So I'm trying to get it to 17 so I can get this taken called away from me. So I can keep the 55 cents plus the other credits that I received in July. So anyways, so right now it's at 76. I'm losing money, but I'm not because this is what I actually want. I get to keep the 55 once this gets taken away from me. So it's no big deal. And you know what? As the actual price rises, because this was at actually negative 800, as it rises, I get my money back basically, and I get to basically just keep my word. And that's one of the things about buying and selling calls and options is you have to keep your word if you're going to go and start selling these. So HBM, another covered call. This is an epic trade here. And I say epic because it's been going on since June, and we're in August right now. So anyways, HBM, June, yeah, could be May, I can't remember, but June for sure. So HBM, I have basically bought it at 40.78, and that's because I was trying to cover a call that I sold naked. I was at 42, but it didn't reach there, and kind of actually did. It went forward, and then it just retraced, and now it just tanked again. Anyhow, I got assigned. I didn't get assigned. I got to keep the premium from that. I did sell a call at 41 call, so I am making about 22 cents on this trade if it does go to 41 or beyond. Right now, it is profitable for the call side. It's 54, but I'm still down 790. So is it good? Is it bad? It all depends on how you see it. Right now, I'm just basically renting out the shares. That's all I'm doing. MDA. Now, this one, it's a 48 put. I was looking forward to keeping the actual shares, like actually getting assigned the shares or having the shares put into my account. I sold that at 250. back in July. Um, but it didn't. It didn't go. It actually went up to like 50 today. If you let me MDA, I have it highlighted here. It went up to 51.34. So I wasn't gonna get a sign. It's about 8 days. Over 50% profit at this point in time. So I said, you know what? I'm just gonna close it and open up another one, and I did. So I sold one for September 48, same strike. Further out in time. Average price is at 285 this time instead of the 250 that I originally sold it at for August. It has about 35 days or so before it expires, and right now it's a little bit under because it's going to 48.55. Now these two were closed and opened today, so basically it's a roll. But I'm rolling for profit and more time for something that I actually want to buy, so I'm not too worried. I wish I had waited until it went down to like 48. When it went 48, 48, interesting number. Would have been nice. Hindsight is 2020. Who cares? Right now, I'm just basically averaging down quite a bit with regards to the NDA. I wouldn't mind owning it at 48. Then I can sell it at like 50, 51. And as you can see, it has reached it before, so that's my target. It can go as high as 56, right? Now you might be saying, okay, well, if it can go as high as 56, why are you trying to sell it at 51? The reason being, I don't go for max profit because I'm more likely to hit a number before it. See what I mean? So if max profit is, say $10, I can make $10. I'll aim for $5 because I'm more likely to hit $5 than I am to hit $10. And sometimes the extra cents are just not worth the squeeze. The extra dollar, the extra $2, you're basically risking $8, for example, to get to 10. It's an extra $2. Like you really want to risk $8 that you already have, get an extra two. At that point in time, I say, I'm just going to close it, roll it, and just have time decay it a little bit more. I do have a tech that I have opened. This was actually at my price, my price target yesterday. I could not get a fill. I didn't get a fill. I got a little bit greedy. I'll be honest with you. I got a little bit greedy. I wanted to get a little bit more. So I put my bid at the bid instead of the midpoint, and it didn't trigger. So now I'm down to $40. So this is what I mean by go for the 50%. If you don't get 50, then it's kind of okay, but don't go for 100% because it's very rare that you'll reach 100% of the actual amount. And that's the one. It's an example right here, tech. So now I have to wait for it to go back up, so on and so forth. Have a Tourmaline oil because oil is always in style. So I'm hoping to get that basically closed out in September. So all these are in September. I did have one August, but that one's closed. $270 in profit. Having said that, though, I'm still down $1,850 for the entire open P&L. So that's one of the risks that you will be down by a few dollars, $1,000, a few $100. But as you can see, I do have a plan to not just lower my cost basis, but to get out of a bad situation. So that's one of the things with trading. You're not always going to win. You think you're always going to win? Hey, tell me your secret because I would like to know. But from my personal experience, I expect to lose as soon as I put it in order. And look, MDA, straight up loss as soon as I put in the order, and it got basically triggered, or I should say filled. So, I lost money, but at the same time, I kind of expected it. So now I have to wait. So what are my plans for that? Is I get assigned, which is what I wanted originally for the August put that I had sold and just kept holding. So I'm going to continue that until September, and we'll see what happens. I might even roll that into October or all the way up to December. Who knows? It might be an interesting way of just getting some exposure to the space sector without actually getting into the space sector, if you know what I mean. Right now, I'm actually thinking more and more about just putting my orders closer to the actual money, so at the money, maybe in the money, but more at the money, just to collect the maximum amount of time premium, especially for stocks that I want to get into. But that's basically it. So just remember, the purpose of these videos are just to document my investments. Don't copy my trades, just for entertainment. Doesn't replace financial advice. As you can see, it is risky to do investing, and I'm just not your advisor. Speak with a licensed financial advisor. You can find them at banks. You can go and not purchase them, but you can go and pay for their expertise and time and everything else. But hopefully this has inspired you to actually take time and learn how to trade and not be too afraid of losing positions, because there's always something that you can do to adjust them. And there's always something that you can do to manage that position, even if it means that you have to trade some time for it. That's it for me. If you like this kind of video, just give us a like, subscribe, share it with a friend, post a comment. Let me know what else you would do differently. Do you like this kind of style? And, just remember, the weekend's coming. Risk off. Bye for now.